I don't know. Maybe they're doing some merch with some intellectual property rights in the Cardano space. That would be cool. If so, probably nothing. Wink, wink. But make sure you go follow their, whitelist spots are being given away every day.
Just realized, thanks to the basement chat for looking out, I forgot to hit the go live button on YouTube, so we were a little delayed here on YouTube. Sorry about that.
Hey, YouTubers.
Hey, we're still happy about the merge. You missed our whole merge.
Man, we
day
just broke down.
dance.
We just had the most concise breakdown on the merge ever. Vitalik called in. You missed it. I'm so sorry. Him and Charles Hoskinson were debating, and then Michael Saylor tagged in from the. Oh man, it was so.
We
wild.
were so excited. I forgot to hit the go live button.
Yeah,
so
I think Satoshi Nakamoto. He even joined. We don't know if it was him, but he proved that he had the million Bitcoin. So yeah, you missed it. I'm sorry, but welcome YouTube. We are here. RIP Ethereum. People are upset about this price. All right, let's before we get into it though, this book, Catching Up to Crypto, just flying off the shelves, doing a really good job. Ben Armstrong. I mean, what's next? I mean, is he going to write the next great American novel? Is he going to branch into fiction, maybe?
I don't know about that. This book basically is a quick, just like the title says, catching up to crypto. If you're new to crypto, you want to learn everything in the history that's happened really right up to the merge, which is today, right up to today's date. Check out this book. It's on pre-order right now. I'll drop the link in the chat.
Yeah, and for the people who just joined, here's a little. I see everyone talk about the merge. It was sent it to 2K. Wait, what's happening? No, immediately dumps, goes down. Something about the chat phase. People love it. All right, let's look at the crypto markets. We're talking about it. Let's be about it. We have Bitcoin below 20,000, 19,800. But ETH is the story of the day right now. Look at that. Down 6.5, down 8, almost 9% on the week. Crash right below 1,500. I don't know where these next levels are going to go to. We have some TA experts. They're going to help us navigate this this crazy landscape we call post-merge Ethereum and crypto land. BNB down quite a bit as well. Let me hit maybe later here. XRP not falling as much. Cardano, Solana holding up quite strong. Flat on the week. Cardano kind of okay on the week, only down about 1%, holding up at 46 cents, almost at 47. Solana still at $33. We have Doge almost past a nickel at 6 cents here. Let's see here. Polkadot down a little bit. Polygon holding somewhat strong. Sheep down. Tron holding up kind of strong. We have ETH Classic. I wonder what those people are doing with that mining software. We have the LEO token doing okay. Adam, let's look at the top gainers and losers, though. We do have Near down a little bit. Might be time to accumulate. We have Gollum. It's still holding up almost 50% on the week there. Looking good. Celsius up 40% on the week. Did not have that one on my bingo card. KNC, I remember that one. I remember that was just the bee's knees when it first dropped on Coinbase. But I want to say there was like less than 15 coins when that dropped. But up 12% on the week, so doing okay. If we look at the top losers, woo, Ravencoin, looks like the miners are selling into the pump. All those people started mining it. But this is just a perfect example of what, TJ?
I don't know.
Buy the rumor.
Buy the rumor, sell the news. Yeah. And well, I mean, and if you look at, it's up 63% on the week, so it's also pull back from that. But yeah. I mean, we're gonna see a lot of things. It was interesting. All this build. Somebody said in the chat, all this build up, and then kind of an anticlimactic day for prices, and that's generally what happens. I mean, you've got this bullish narrative. You've got everybody all hyped up. It went over extremely well, and now we just got to keep ticking on and ticking blocks and, doing what we were doing. It's not like it's going to have it will all change in one instance, but it takes time for it to take effect.
Yeah. All righty. And ETH and Bitcoin just had the liquid poops. Yeah, I mean, that is, it appears what is happening here. Sorry, lowly man, but hope to see you next time here. We have Terra Luna down quite a bit. Helium, that move to Solana, really not moving that price too much, down 20% on the week. But we are going to get some of these experts up here. They're going to help us out. And I think it was Gainsey tweeting about FTT and it said, man, what is going on, Sam? Why is your coin just going down to zero? And now I look at this 1 year chart. Yeah, I can see where Gainsey's pain is coming from. But to me, that's looking kind of attractive. That is one of my bear market accumulations. All right, maybe I can greet Tom and we'll get the calf man ready.
Yeah.
The chat loving that calf cam, by the way, Frank. Oh, God. Tom, are you there?
Hey, DZ. Man, that was a wild appearance by. Whoa, got a little feedback. That was a wild appearance by Vitalik and possibly Satoshi at the same time.
Yeah, that was just so nuts, man. I can't believe YouTube missed it, but the Twitch chat was able to catch it. All right, we have Frank coming in. He's gonna, man, talk the charts with this guy. What is going on? Let me wipe this thing off.
I was thinking that. I think I got you, Tom.
What is going on, Tom?
Yo, brother. What a day.
What a day.
Here we are. Like a year of pain. It's been like a year of pain, and we finally had a little excitement. I was jazzed yesterday. And typical crypto, man. Typical crypto just rained on our parade. It wasn't really that hype. I was gonna go live at like 3 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah, well, like you said, it's like we finally get some positivity. Like, oh my God, this is gonna be a huge thing in crypto. Let's go. And then I woke up this morning. I was like, okay, didn't dump yet, and then boop, there it goes.
Well, let me ask you, while we have you both here, did either one of you try to trade the merge, like open shorts or longs going in?
Yesterday on ATB, I said I had a long open. I was just collecting funding on like 1x, and I closed that. I made a little bit of profit, but there was some money to be made just on that funding. It's still extremely negative on some exchanges, which, despite today's candle, is still a bullish sign. You guys are welcome to argue this with me, but it's not financial advice. It's not a guaranteed win. But when people are betting in one direction heavily, the odds do slowly tip in the other direction's favor. So.
Yeah,
at the moment, no trade.
Yeah. The negative funding is hard to resist because, again, like you said, doesn't always hit 100% of the time. But if the charts are agreeing somewhat, and then you see those negative fundings, it could be a good move. But I typically, same thing with the Fed meetings and all that. I sit on the sidelines for this stuff. Sometimes I'll trade the aftermath. Today I was busy, but woke up this morning and was wondering am I going to wake up to a drastic move on ETH? And then we woke up and I was like, okay, it's holding strong. And at that point, it's I do like to sit these things out because sometimes they, we were talking about this yesterday, TJ. We were kind of thinking, either going to be a big nothing burger, maybe a dump, but there's really no telling with this stuff. So I typically don't trade this news.
Well, Tom, let's see what you got pulled up for us today.
Yeah, sure. Let's start with what everyone's looking at. We'll start with Ethereum, right? Let me throw this up. So today feels bad, and really what it was is, like we were talking about, that's why I prefaced it, is we had so much good energy yesterday. It feels bad today with this red candle. As they say, buy the rumor, sell the merge. Or maybe they will say that in the future. We'll find out. It's actually not that bad. Today's candle is down 8-9%. That feels terrible, but I really think it's because we were feeling good yesterday. If we look at the bigger picture on Ethereum's chart here, we haven't really done much. We kind of found some resistance. 1700 has been a pivotal level since 2018 or 2021. It's a little early for me, guys. I usually stream later, but I'm looking at the chart this way. We had a very nice test of the previous all-time high. That was in August. We had a sweet bullish engulfing candle. We had a higher high, and we haven't come back down yet. We haven't come back down and tested it. So I'm really looking at about 1,420 to hold as support. If it doesn't and we break it, I think the logical, Frankie, I'd love to hear your opinion here. The logical next support is going to be where we found resistance back in July and June at about 1250. We tested it as resistance multiple times. We broke out, and now coming back down to it is really not that crazy. If we look at our swing low to our swing high, that's right at that 618, that golden pocket. So I think that it's highly probable, if it comes, that we see some kind of bounce from that level. I can't tell you the future if we're going back to an all-time high the next day, but I think there's going to be some kind of bounce there.
Yeah, I would actually agree with that 100%. And, I don't know if we can pull up my chart, but, just to add to that, Tom, it's, funny that you're looking at that level exactly, because I do, I have one more level looking at the volume profile. I have one more level above that. However, there is, it's a very, not a very high volume node here, so could smash right through that. But the next major level I am looking at is to revisit that technical support at that exact level you were just talking about. And if we do wind up breaking the level here at about 1497. If we could decisively break down from that, I do think we could actually, it could be a pretty quick ride to that level. So definitely see that exact same level.
So we're sitting at about 1491 right now.
Yeah, so right now, these are the Heikinashi candles, but yeah, sitting at about 1490. So we are really starting to dance on that support level. But yeah, if we can break down from this level and maybe get that move down, that would be the next level. I mean, that's why I love talking to other traders and other, technical analysts, because, a lot of times you have very similar levels, but you find them in such different ways. So yeah, definitely watching that exact same level. Can't make it up.
It's, I mean, truly magic, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and at this point, how likely do you feel like we're going to be going down to lower levels for? I mean, do you just feel both Bitcoin and Ethereum, or like I know we're sitting kind of right on support right now, like Tom mentioned, and if we are able to hold it, is there a certain time frame you want to hold it by, like today, tomorrow, that sort of thing, Tom?
Good question. I'd like to see 3 days and 9 hours for the weekly. That's probably the time frame. If we're going to test it, that I'd like to see it in. I'd like to kind of see that back test, and then I'd like to see a bounce. I'm tired with these red numbers, with these low numbers. They're not as fun. Yesterday gave me a taste of the nostalgia of excitement, and I'm ready to go back. I actually have a first time ever chart that I'd like to share with you guys that's relevant. No one's probably ever seen this chart, so here we go. Boom. FW, the Ethereum proof of work fork, trading at $18. So you can see did not necessarily fare so hot. But this is a brand new chart. Just started trading. I think it was like 2,000 blocks after the merge. It's something I'm going to keep an eye on. I think if we see more bullish price action than bearish, which I'm not going to bet on, but if we do, I don't think that'll bode super well for the merged proof of stake coin. My bet, honestly, is that the ETHW is going to kind of trend down over time, and ETHUSD will outpace it. And we have a new trading pair, which will be interesting, which is ETHFW, which is something I'm going to keep an eye on in the future.
No, that's true. I mean, that's something you have to keep in mind when these things come out. There's short-term opportunities and long-term opportunities within crypto, and some of these new things, these new developments, when you get upgrades and protocol changes, can be those opportunities. So, I mean, if you're a trader, you're looking to make money on every opportunity you can find. So it's worth pointing out. It's good point.
Absolutely. And Bitcoin broke its low yesterday and not doing much. I don't know if I have super high expectations today. Breaking yesterday's low, I kind of was thinking, oh no, here comes the dump. And we didn't really get one. Didn't really go anywhere. Kind of bounced a little bit. We do have plenty of time in the day today, so that could still happen. But I'm expecting, I think after the hype of yesterday and then nothing happening, the nothing burger, I'm probably going to see a pretty chill trading day today.
Yeah. Go ahead, Frank. If you
I was going to say, I would agree with that. Just back to Ethereum for a minute. Because we don't get these opportunities where you have these big events in crypto happening. So, with the merge, obviously me and TJ were talking about, is it going to be a nothing burger? Is it going to rip? Is it going to dump? And one of the main reasons I was expecting it most likely to be either a nothing burger or a dump is basically what TJ said, comparing it to the Bitcoin halving, where people, would expect, when it happens, we're going to go up in a straight line. And then, it winds up being a really bullish catalyst, but it does take time to go up. And the reason I was expecting that dump is, some people sell the news, and then, some people hold on and they're like, let's see what happens. And then, they wake up the next day, which seems like what happened today. They wake up and they're like, oh, it's not moving. I guess it's not going to moon. I'm going to move my money somewhere else. They sell it, and then that's that red candle that you see.
Yeah.
But, it is interesting because we don't get these opportunities very often. So it's like, I want to soak this in and see, what did this feel like? What do we think, So very interesting.
Well, something that's not even on the charts, I think we all should keep in mind, is this was probably the historical first for a lot of the viewers out there for crypto. You don't get firsts like this. So it might have not been super exciting, but it is still a historical moment. This will be in history that it took place on September 15th, 2022. And it's something you're going to look back on probably fondly in a few years.
Yeah, absolutely. Great point. I mean, it's like you said, this is one of I mean, it could be, some people could make the argument, the greatest achievement throughout this industry. I mean, other than like maybe the inception and the launching of Bitcoin and things like that, but on a technical level, I mean, to accomplish what this team has accomplished is pretty remarkable, you know, regardless, and speaks volumes to the development, the engineers, the team behind it, the infrastructure, all that kind of stuff. I think Charles Hoskinson had a really good take on it today. Really appreciated what he said.
So far, it's been flawless. That's really what I'm impressed by. I was skeptical for years because it's a big task. You know, I didn't even know if it was possible. I'm not really on that side of the crypto expertise, but it's a huge task, and it was accomplished. And so far, and you know, I'll be watching the news like everyone else should be, looking for articles breaking. There hasn't been any issues. I'm super impressed.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I just tweeted, and you know, obviously we're seeing a little bit of a dump, but you know, still exciting. Like super exciting. So you know, just because the price action doesn't always mimic how things are going. You know, sometimes the price action just kind of deviates from the actual fundamentals. And this was a huge day. Still super exciting on the fundamental side. But yeah, you know, price action is a whole nother thing.
Let me ask you this real quick, Tom, before we wrap up. And I don't know if you have anything else you had to show, but I wanted to ask. I know you guys are both very technical. Obviously, you're in the charts a lot. But from a macro perspective, right? I mean, on a global scale, you know, charts across the board, if you start zooming out, even on certain timeframes, don't look very good right now. There's the argument that, hey, this ETH merge was kind of the last bullish narrative everybody had to point at as something coming. And then if you kind of look out over the next couple of months, it doesn't necessarily look great. Do you agree with that sentiment? Do you see anything on the charts that gives us any bullish narrative, or is it going to be kind of down or sideways for a while, or kind of what's your long-term look right now?
Well, I'm a permabull, so take this with a grain of salt. I think there is, and I think something important too is people really do get wrapped up in narratives and news, and in crypto, we really just don't see it act logically or behave logically. All throughout 2018, 19, we had all the craziest news in the world, and then we were in a bear market, you know, for another 2 years. Price rarely reflects what the charts do. Or not price, sentiment and narratives. Something though, a chart that may make you a little bullish. I've shared this here before. I want to share it again. Keep it in mind. Update you guys. The total crypto market cap is still buttery clean. You know, we had a perfect back test of 2018 or 2017's high on total. That happened on the dump in June. We have not gone back down to those lows. It's been almost 4 months. We had a little consolidation on the weekly, and that's pretty much where we are right now. So this isn't the most bullish, but this is absolutely an argument that the bulls are not out of the game yet. If we don't see total break, especially if we see 921 billion hold, I mean, the market is still trending up on a macro perspective, certainly not in the short term, but
no, there's great point. And I think if we come down and retested that and double bottomed, that could be a pretty bullish case there as well, correct?
Yeah, especially if it holds 700. I hate the big numbers. 761 billion. Things are looking pretty good. You know, that's a classic chart pattern. Is you have an all-time high, you have a bear market or cycle, you break it, and you come back down to test it as support. That's like as maybe basic rudimentary technical analysis as there is. So I'm good as long as that holds, and so far so good.
Awesome. Well, do you have anything new in the works right now? Anything you want to leave the audience with? Tell them where to find you, and obviously loving the merch right there, rocking the hoodie. Looks great.
It's one of my favorite hoodies. Yeah, definitely. I have a lot going on. You guys can follow me at Tom Crown on YouTube, Tom Crown Crypto on Twitter. Be careful of the imposter accounts. I've been putting out a lot of beginner-friendly content in the short form, which you can find on the playlist on my channel. I've started up a newsletter, and I'm actually launching a blog here soon with crypto articles. So hopefully you guys will check that out when you have some time. And I love being on the show. Thanks for having me 2 days in a row. It is an honor.
Hey, love to double dip on the Tom Crown.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
See you later, Tom.
All right,
Thank
see
you
guys.
All right, well, there you
go.
Felt
like an awkward first date. For some reason.
Yeah,
I don't know what it was.
I think it was weird because this is the first time that I've come on to talk and then you're talking.
Yeah.
But no, hey, we're trying it out. I like that. I actually like being able to go back and forth with other people a lot. It's one of my favorite things to do because sometimes they see things you don't. But as you guys can see, Tom had that exact same level we have. So again, You know, it doesn't matter how you get to those levels. If you know your TA, you can have the same level as me, and we can get there in 2 completely different ways. But I did see a super chat from Crypto Car, I think.
Yeah, Car's Crypto, yeah.
I did just want to read that because I think it's important. He says, love the bear market. The longer we go sideways, the more time I have to accumulate the good stuff. I couldn't agree more. I think that's all I got. Back to DZ. Bing bong.
Bring it back, DZ. Yeah, and thank you to the random so the reason we tried that, some random commenter I happened to actually read yesterday or the day before suggested that we have Frank on to talk with the other traders to get two traders' opinions back and forth.
Makes sense. I like it.
We tried it, and there it was. All right.
You know, Tom, always like to joke because he likes Litecoin, but you know what coin I like? Litecoin. You know how you earn Litecoin?
Oh, man.
You earn Litecoin by hitting the like button. And so every smash, I want you to open your mom's account. I want you to open your significant other's account.
Yeah.
I want you to make an alt account right now. I want all the screens open. I want them all watching this live stream. And just hit that like button. Let's see if we can get a little juice moving. All right. I think we have some TikToks.
Oh, that's right. TikToks. I can't have my headset off for this. So here we go.
Litecoin hype, baby.
You want like this or like that? Nice.
Yeah. I like how he's going out there with predictions.
Yeah.
You know, we've learned the hard way. It's a slippery slope when you put out predictions there. And he's saying 11 days from now, Bitcoin's going to be $3,000-$4,000 lower. And so we'll see.
Yeah, that's a big prediction.
DZ's left the basement. I stay in the basement.
Full day mining Ethereum. Show me your funds.
That's pretty cool.
BJ approves.
Poor guy.
Yeah, there's some funny tweets where it's like people like, hey, I just set up my ETH rig, can't wait to start mining. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of Ergo/Ravencoin getting mined there.
Exactly. Sad day for Ethereum miners. Not a great day for gamers. If maybe all the gamers that hated Ethereum and hated crypto miners maybe coming back around. We got sales across the board on graphics cards. So there's something. Thanks, Vitalik.
Corey's salty about it. All right, one more here.
If you read this and you don't go, holy crap, this is absolutely insane. They just removed a $1 billion cap on the amount of the pension funds that can be tapped into in case of default to 35 trillion. That is with a T. That is like me taking a credit card and having a $100 limit on it and going, hey, can I increase my credit limit? Oh yeah, sure, to what? 350,000. Wall Street's screwed. They're so over leveraged. This isn't even going to cover all of it. They're screwed. Hey, short hedge funds. Hey, Wall Street. You guys are stupid. You guys are really, really stupid and crooks and frauds. I hate you all. I just want you to know that from the bottom of my heart. I really, really despise you, Wall Street, and the frauds you are on there, looking out for the American people. No, all you're trying to do is line your own pockets. That's why you're all over leveraged, and that's why you have to increase it from $1 billion to 35 trillion to cover, because I know people are going to default when Bed Bath & Beyond and GameStop pop. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
All right, be interested to look more on that. I agree with him. He's definitely arguing with passion, and emotion, not really facts and logic. But I like that guy.
I was gonna say I tend to not know the best production quality necessarily, but I tend to agree with the sentiment. And it's a scary fact. The fact that they're removing a cap from $1 billion to 35 trillion, like that means they're coming after pension funds most likely for revenue when it comes to getting backing up these bad debts. Basically, they're gonna have to draw on bigger and bigger pots, and they're gonna be coming after pension funds.
I like how we're showcasing that account. He only had like 500 followers.
Hey,
not some major guys, not Raw Powell's or some $1 million thing. It's not Nakamoto or Kiyosaki. Sorry, love that guy though. All right, we ready to talk a little Bitcoin, and then we're gonna get right into the ETH merge. Don't you worry. Bitcoin could plunge by over 30% before bottoming out. This is according to a crypto strategist. Capo, I think I follow him on Twitter, tells his 500,000 Twitter followers that Bitcoin's main downside target is between 16 and 14, a drop of between about 20 and 30%. Current pivot is 21, break 19 and it goes to 14 to 16 for the last low. So he is saying that is going to be the bottom. Currently sitting at a support, we could see a bounce to form another lower high or a quick swing failure pattern to 23K, but it would still be bearish. I will say I do follow that guy, Crypto Kappa or something like that. He's pretty on point, but no one's right all the time. But I will say this. I used to feel, that 9, 10, 11 target, but my 9, 10, 11 has slowly become like an 11, 12, 13, 14. And this guy, he's saying 15, 13, 14, 15. I think the bears are the people saying 3. Don't be surprised if they start saying 6 or 9. The people saying 5, 6, they might start saying 9 or 10. The people like me saying 9, 10, 11, I'm kind of going up a couple K. I'm still leaning we have a lower low. But I'm by no means am I full of conviction on this 90%, 80%.
Well, let me ask you, what is it that's making you kind of bring back? I mean, I don't disagree. I've been in about the 14K range. I think it's going to be around 14K, maybe a little to one side or the other. But what makes you feel a little bit better about bumping it up a few?
One, that chart, that crypto market cap chart, that great bounce off the total capitalization. If Bitcoin would have set a low at its previous all-time high, if, say, 17 wasn't the low, it was like that 19.6 target or whatever, I would feel a lot better about that being the target because it's such a strong psychological level of support. And so when I see that psychological level of support with the total crypto market cap, its recent low basically hit that previous top, that's just, just the TA. It's just the TA kind of pushing me that way.
Sure.
When you test a bottom like that and you bounce that hard, and at this point, we're September. That was months ago. And so it's had plenty of time to set in a lower low. If you remember June, July of last year, I think June it hit 29. It kind of bounced. And then July, it hit 28.5. That was a month later. 17K was months ago. The longer we go, the less. So it's also a time thing.
Yeah.
But,
no, that's the biggest thing for me is time generally. I think the Fed and the rate hikes have obviously a lot to do with it. I think we're going to see another one. I'm leaning more towards a 1% hike at this point. I think that will push us a little bit lower. So I think once we get through some of that and the Fed gets back off the gas, it's funny. I saw a funny Jerome Powell was actually talking about on a thing that he was getting people, what do you say, a close family member or somebody like that was pushing the values of Bitcoin on him, and he, doesn't agree with them, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, so he's going to beat the price down, keep raising rates so his son or whoever can get a good, basically Spencer Schiff and Jerome Powell's son loading up on Bitcoin.
Yeah,
for
I like
the family.
that. Like, hey, Dad, go out there and FUD for me. You got it, son.
Exactly. I'll bring you take care of the future.
Are you winning, son? That's like them after they get off CNBC.
Exactly.
And they like have an open log. Are you winning, son?
How's it going, son?
Dad, your FUD worked. All the hype at 10, 12K. Don't you think buy orders will start to fill up around 13 to 15? Dumb thought, not a dumb thought. I agree. When everyone's saying 19, I would set something at 18 or 20. Yeah. When everyone starts saying a number, you move it a little bit. Nick the Kid, thanks for the sub. Crypto Vet, one of the OGs. All right, so that was our little bearish, analysis on, hey, we could go lower. Here's a little bit of a bullish scenario that we'll get into Michael Saylor here. Bitcoin price has strong potential to hit 25. This is a weekly analysis suggests. And recently we saw a strong correction. The price hit a low of about 19,000, bouncing right above that. The price actually did reach 25 in late August, which is a significant milestone. Such a pattern indicates the current market has the potential to and likely will attempt a breakthrough resistance. The prominent oscillator indicator has shown a bullish advance. In contrast, though, the moving averages exhibited bearish indicators. The price should not drop below the 71.6 Fibonacci level. If bears break through that, that's when it might hit another low, about 18. I would say even it'll probably blast through that and hit the previous low. But then strong support. Hopefully we don't just bounce around on that previous low. The more we do that, the more likely we do hit those 14, 15K targets there. All right, no buyers for Ethereum or Bitcoin. I guess not. They're just hanging out on the sidelines. It's like it's World War III out there, and everyone's just kind of waiting. I'll wait till the dust settles. Well, the dust is out there. All right, speaking old and dusty here, we have Michael Saylor slamming misinformation about Bitcoin's energy use. He claims mining could become a clean, profitable, and modern industry that generates hard currency for remote locations in the developing world. I would echo those sentiments there. The executive chairman, who recently stepped down as CEO, shared a lengthy post on his Twitter account Wednesday detailing 7 of his high-level thoughts in quotation marks there, on Bitcoin mining and its impact on the environment. One of the keys was against the notion of proof of work Bitcoin mining isn't energy efficient. He claims it's the cleanest industrial use of electricity and is improving its energy efficiency at the fastest rate across any major industry. He backed it up with figures from Q2 Global Bitcoin Data Mining Review, published by, this is where you got to take it with a grain of salt, published by the Bitcoin Mining Council, a group of 45, and then another grain of salt, companies that claim to represent about half of the global network. Approximately 4 to 5 billion in electricity is used to power and secure a network that is worth 420 billion as of today. Nice, I guess. All right. In closing, he says all the negative towards proof of work mining distracts from the possible benefits for the world. It can bring a clean and profitable industry that generates hard currency. So yeah, we said that already. Yeah. Well, I mean, the potential is out there.
No, I would agree, and I think it's important. I understand why he's coming out and making these statements. It's important, right, and especially right now as Ethereum's moving to proof of stake, we're going to hear a lot more attacks on Bitcoin's energy use, and a lot of them are based on misinformation. I mean, I think that articles did say like 59 and change, 60% of Bitcoin is used with renewable energy. I saw, they need to at least. There's people pushing for them to push for that number up. If we can push that number to 60, 70, 80, or even 100, it can remove one of the number one attack vectors against Bitcoin. And there's going to be a lot of incentives for creating new renewable energy sources through fossil fuels, through government initiatives and stuff. So I think there's a great path for Bitcoin to change the narrative around the fact that it's bad for the environment. And I think starting by championing what it's done so far, which we know here, and anytime anybody does a decent amount of research, you see Bitcoin's not economic, but environmental impact has been far and away beneficial for humanity across the board. So the more we can do that, the better. And I do appreciate things like what Michael Saylor puts together in those kind of companies. So
yeah, and environmental impact. I mean, you got to figure it's the smartest people in the world working on these. The people who they care more about. That very, very small sliver of slippage with electricity. They want it as efficient as possible. If you have, I'm just trying to think, some in Georgia that might use a lot of, all right, so maybe some sort of paper. There's a Kawasaki, big motorcycle thing here. I think it's Kawasaki, something like that.
Yamaha's here.
Yeah. I'm sure they have some plan. I'm sure it's fairly efficient, but they're not going to take a magnifying glass like a Bitcoin mining processing plant would, because those, if, kilowatt hour usage, kind of goes up and down 5-10% on that plant, I'm sure it hits the bottom line. Nothing compared to what it hit the bottom line of a Bitcoin mining facility. So yeah, and you think of the people who are into running nodes and diving into ecosystems. They're the smartest people around, and we have the smartest minds in the world working on this. Crypto Stevo, a lot of people are hypocrites when it comes to energy use. My buddy hates on Bitcoin energy use, but flies back and forth to Vegas to gamble in casinos that use gillion watts of electricity daily. Yeah, people are gonna say one thing and then kind of act a different way. It's always, I don't like it when they dunk on celebrities that often, but when they dunk on them for their private plane usage, that's like, okay. When that celebrity is then saying, oh, you got to do this, don't eat meat because of cow farts, but they're flying all around the nation, you're like, okay, money is where your mouth is there. But all right, kind of to that point, it isn't over for Bitcoin. It is too soon to write off Bitcoin after the merge, says the founder of Nexo. After the rollout of the merge upgrade, a section of the crypto market has suggested that the second-ranked digital asset by market cap might flip Bitcoin. Amid the interest in Ethereum, Bitcoin is recording a sustained price correction. According to Trenchev, investors should not view Bitcoin and Ethereum as competing platforms, maintaining that both assets are useful. He noted that the merge would potentially drive some enthusiasm into the crypto market and trigger a price rally. Notably, he earlier suggested that the upgrade's initial success would be vital to this asset sustaining a rally. Yeah, I mean, if that merge failed, it would have been terrible. We told you on Around the Blockchain, me and TJ kind of saying the merge was priced in for it to work. And then since it worked, a lot of people are saying it worked. Why is it going down? Well, it was kind of priced in and people were just kind of taking profits.
Yeah.
Just getting out of there. And also, if you close a short, people probably expect it to grow. That is a buy opportunity, but the shorts seem to be doing well somehow, even though it did well. So it's interesting to see the price action. But like we say, buy the rumor, sell the news. All right, Ethereum. Let's talk Ethereum now. Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin celebrates the merge dream for years. As the clock counted down the final moments of the merge, co-founder joined the Ethereum mainnet merge viewing party livestream hosted by the Ethereum Foundation to share his final thoughts. Honestly, I could see that pop up on my YouTube, and I would say, that's another scam. I'm not sending you 2 proof of work coins. Buterin said that among the biggest motivations for the switch are the high cost and the massive amount of energy usage. The merge is said to drastically reduce energy consumption by 99.95%. Huge downgrade in usage there. These new optimizations allow developers and users to scale the network in ways not possible or that were unsustainable in the past. This is an important step in pushing the mass adoption of decentralized technologies and onboarding the next billion into the ecosystem.
Yeah, I think the actual number, for at least it's unconfirmed, but the number being floated around is after the merge, it actually decreased the entire global energy consumption by 0.2%.
I saw something like that. Yeah, I mean, that's massive. Will it help energy prices this winter? Maybe a little bit. We definitely need it. But I don't know if it's going to, stave off any people freezing to death. Unfortunately, is a reality some people are facing. I don't mean to make light of that. All right, Ethereum traders shorted the price in record numbers during the merge. 50% crash ahead. This goes to what I just said earlier. If you close a short, what happens? It executes a buy order. What do buy orders do? Generally make the price go up. So be careful with this headline, okay? That's all I'm saying. But it could go down.
Yeah.
Now I'm one of those guys. Could go up.
It could go up, could go down,
I don't know. I don't know. I guarantee it won't be this price 24 hours from now. Please move.
Yeah.
All right. Ether's future funding rates across leading derivatives platforms dropped below 0 to their worst levels to date. Before the merge, the rate dropped to as low as negative 0.6% on BitMEX. BitMEX has all the bears there, I guess. The worst levels to date? Is that real? That is quite low. Okay. ETH funding rates history. Wow, that is not good. I mean, it looks like it's not in history though. It looks like it was a dip below in August. From a technical perspective, the price risks dropping by 50% in the coming weeks due to the formation of a symmetrical triangle on its longer time frame chart. Let's see here. Do we see a little symmetrical? Oh yeah, you can see it right there. I'll let the TA, you go Frankie Candle's channel to have him break down that. But I don't know the numbers, but slightly more than half of the time it goes down. That's basically all you need to know. I'm not saying it's guaranteed to go down. People do the math. It's like 60% or 57 or 70. I don't know what the percentage is, but more than half, and that's what's important here. In addition to negative funding rates and the symmetrical triangle setup, Ether also faces downside risk from a renewed buying interest in Bitcoin, the leading crypto by market cap. Ether funds witnessed withdrawals worth $61 million in the week ending on the 9th, compared to Bitcoin. They only had 13 million withdrawn. More sell the news cues come from the recent rise in Ethereum's balance across all crypto exchanges. Notably, the exchange inflow volume reached a not too bad, a 1-month high of 22,000 ETH for the 7-day moving average.
I think if I had to guess, again, inflows and outflows for exchanges can be used as indicators. Of course, we talk about that a lot on this channel, but keep in mind when you've got a big event like this, I would imagine part of the inflows could be to sell, but also could be for people that want to make sure they get their coins on the exchange because the exchange is going to handle the merge and they don't have to worry about doing anything with their tokens, and then we'll withdraw it back to a cold storage wallet, a paper wallet, something like that.
Yeah, there are some people scared to keep it on the ledger. Yep. But speaking of Ledger, I think Ledger actually has a deal right now in celebration of the merge.
They do. Yeah,
I think we can save our people like $50 here.
Yeah, I don't know if you have that pack or that link. You can show.
It's the run a little offer. It's 20% discount. Ledger Nano and the Bill Foldle, get it? Okay, a little Bill Fold, and it knocks off 20%. I think it ends up being $50. Is just the little billfold thing that's normally $100. So you're kind of getting that like half off if you want to look at it that way.
So the link is in the description. The link is in the chat as well. We could, if you just I click that link, you get a ledger discount. They don't do these often. It's just for the historic day of the merge, and yeah, get your ledger.
Oh yeah,
right
Brian's saying most people would keep it on the wallets. I think yeah, most people do want 2 coins, but there's a lot of people that freaks them out.
Yeah.
A seed phrase freaks them out.
Depends on your wallet. It depends on your wallet.
Yeah,
I'd say that.
Yeah. So there's all types of different flavors of collectors of these cryptocurrencies. Yeah, I call it as collectors here. All right, secret messages. You can put messages in crypto blocks, by the way, if you didn't know. Secret messages and last proof of work and first proof of stake blocks during the merge. The crypto community saw the most anticipated complex upgrade in the history of crypto. I would argue this is the first halving for Bitcoin. That's just my 2 cents there. The last proof of work block was produced by surprise, produced by F2 Pool. Got him, and has only 1 transaction and 1 contract, internal transaction. The message in this transaction by Vanity Blocks has a quote by American ethnobotanist and mystic Terrence McKenna. Make the commitments, and nature will respond to that commitment by removing impossible obstacles. Dream the impossible dream, and the world will not grind you under. It will lift you up. This is the trick. I've actually read a few of his books, so that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. Also, the first proof of stake block has a reward of 45.03 ETH, which is worth over 72,000. The block has 80 transactions and 1 contract internal transaction. However, subsequent blocks have significantly low rewards. So that first one had a little bit of a scratch on it. The circulating supply will decline due to the EIP 1559 burning mech, reducing the new issuance. As per recent data, almost 200 ETH supply has been removed so far after the merge. ETH price has decreased after the merge. So we have a lot of contrasting narratives here. We have, ETH being burned, deflationary, but the price, generally speaking, you'd say, well, that goes up and to the right when you see something like that. No, it's going down. I think on a long enough time scale, speaking of, proof of, or Bitcoin halving, right after the halving, I remember when you're first in crypto, you're like, oh yeah, it's cut in half. It's just going to immediately go up. Normally, the first couple days, it always goes down. And I think we're seeing a similar situation here. People just kind of taking profits, getting out of letting the dust settle. Supply and demand economics, which is what we're going to see here, takes a while to take effect. We see it with Bitcoin mining. When the issuance of Bitcoin is cut in half, it's not immediately that the price goes up. The supply and demand economics takes months to take place, where Bitcoin has that nice parabolic move, where that first strong leg of the bull market. I think something similar will happen with Ethereum. This is me just kind of guessing here. I think the selling pressure from miners obviously is drastically reduced, and I think that will take a little bit of time. I'm going to say 3 to 5 weeks. I think after 3 to 5 weeks, that's when we really start to see supply-demand economics take effect, and I am expecting that's where ETH will really start to gain Satoshis, kind of fitting into the narrative that eventually it will overtake Bitcoin market cap. I'm not saying soon. I'm saying 7 years, probably, if I had to guess. I'm Vegas, gun to my head type situation. I'd say about 7 years. But for that to happen, it's going to be a slow and steady gain of sats. And I think we're going to start to see it eventually here. 3 to 5 weeks. That's my thesis here. All right. We had an NFT minted after the merge. Everybody was fighting. This was all probably done via scripts here. They were fighting to have that first NFT minted. If you want priority on the blockchain, you have to up the gas. There was a gas war. The gas war brought the NFT up to $60,000 gas fee.
Jeez.
The total terminal difficulty, a measure of the cumulative mining difficulty, was achieved at this block, super early overnight, triggering the transition to proof of stake. Within 17 seconds, the first NFT was minted. The user paid, they jumped it up to 36.8 in transaction fees to mint the NFT named the Transition. Is the Ethereum Panda mascot and is part of a collection of 100 on OpenSea. I was right. I ended up being right. My guess was this had to be some NFT project, and they're using this as advertisement. It's going to be in a bunch of articles. People are going to talk about it. I bet it's an NFT project. I said it to the people in this office this morning. Sure enough, it is a collection that now they could say this. They take place in Ethereum history, but it's not the first time the Panda mascot has appeared on as an NFT, with Pandeth minted way back in 2019 in the early days. So, hey, good job. we talked about it. Mission accomplished. Now, will this 36 ETH you just spend on advertising pay off? It's a rough market. It's a bear market out there. I know it's kind of rough out there. It's Utes. That was hot. That popped. But good luck.
According to chat, it only has a 10K offer on OpenSea right now. But and that's what's
60 worth 10.
That's what's interesting to see is what people are willing to pay for. And I mean, it's definitely historic. It's definitely a piece of blockchain history. But what is that worth? That's the question.
Yeah. In regards to destruction, so yeah, that's what I'm talking about here. So there's Ethereum miners. That's just a lot of selling pressure, and that's gone. But it's not going to be an immediate thing. It's just the market cap's too big. They have stockpiles, yada yada. All right, forked Ethereum token ETHW. Shout out to Tom Crown. Show me that chart for the first time ever. Then tanks following the merge event. We saw the chart there a little bit. This is of course the hard fork of Ethereum, supported by a group of proof of work miners enjoying a massive rally leading up to the merge event early Thursday morning. Token soared from $35 to $60 after the merge, this is when you're jaded from crypto. 35 to 60.
Only a double. Yeah.
God, please. Since then, however, the fork token has shed the entirety of its gain, plunging below $32 a token. Today, I think we last looked, it was $18, so almost cut in half from that. Today's volatility comes as no surprise for speculators eyeing the token's price action. Now let's talk here. What are you doing with yours?
Sell it.
I mean, you have some ETH,
yeah,
right?
just sell it. I mean, that's what happens. Is anybody, if you can sell it, you are selling it. Basically.
Are you selling yours?
I'm just.
It's not even worth it, right?
It's going to sit there and it's going to go away and it's going to go down to zero. I don't even have the energy to figure out where to sell it, how to sell it. So no, it's just going to nothing.
I'm in the same boat with you. I think you have a little bit more ETH than me, to be fair, but yeah, I mean, I don't have that much ETH. I'm not worried about.
Well, and
that. It's not buying me a vehicle or doing anything cool.
And that's something
a
lot of people don't realize. Any fork of Bitcoin, right? If you hold Bitcoin, you get that equivalent in the fork. Now, the value of those tokens are going to be dramatically less than what your Bitcoin is, and almost all of there's been a handful: Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, and you could debatably say ABC. You could sell some and you could get some money for it. There's been probably 50 to 100 other Bitcoin forks, completely useless. There's no exchange. There's no wallet. There's nowhere to sell the tokens. There's no liquidity. So just because you have tokens and there is a value against it doesn't actually mean you can get that money for that value. There has to be liquidity.
Yeah, and we're not going to have an event like I think December 20 or November 2017 where Bitcoin Cash was like 10% of the price. I mean, that would make this $150 a coin. You know what, though? In this day of Terra Luna pumping, I don't know, man. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
there could be some scammy person with a big bag of it that's going to try to pump it to $100 to dump on everybody.
Exactly, and I just don't have time or energy to play with that stuff at this point. Not saying you can't do it. It's just not where I spend my energy.
Litecoin's a fork of Doge, right? No, Doge is a fork of Litecoin. Yeah, Litecoin's a fork of Bitcoin. Litecoin's technically a fork of something else, which was a fork of Bitcoin. There's like just some coin that disappeared, I believe, or maybe Doge
there's some
separation.
There's some debatability on a code fork versus a software fork, and it's a little nuanced on Litecoin. It's basically a fork of the code, a fork of the software where they just changed one thing in the code. They didn't actually fork the chain, I believe, is what it is. I'd have to go back and look.
Yeah, leave that to the well actuallys. There's a lot of well actuallys out there, like the Oscar from The Office. All right. Interest in Ravencoin, quote, explodes as Ethereum miners flock to mine Raven instead of ETH. And you know what? After this, when was this article?
I was going to ask. Yeah,
the price is down. This was written 4 hours ago. After the ecosystem went through the long-awaited merge update that officially marked the transition consensus algorithm, it has led to some interesting developments in the crypto space as miners start to look for alternatives here. Ravencoin. Okay, so they're just throwing the chart up. I thought this. What is this? Proof of work coins or something? All right. As the data shows, miners have flocked to the alternative chain en masse in this major mining shift, leading to the explosion of the Ravencoin hash rate, which soared 541% in the 2 weeks leading up to the merge, so between the 1st and the 15th. That is quite the explosion there. You got some guy with his laptop. He's making $1 a day. All of a sudden, it turns into 17 cents. He's like, I don't think this is worth it anymore. You know, $30 a month. that kind of does something. You add it up, you get $365 at the end of the year. But then you're looking at it, you're like, hey, I only get $30 now. Like, I don't know if I want to do this. Then you start looking at that energy bill, and you're like, yeah, I'm definitely losing money.
Yeah.
The success of Ravencoin could also be attributed to the announcement by FTX of the listing of Raven perpetual futures. Allows people to leverage trade it there. So, all right, you know what? Shout out to the Ravencoin community. I've talked about them before. It is a strong community. If you go to like YouTube and try to figure out how to mine Ravencoin, tons of resources, a lot of videos, a lot of content creators, and I do like the Ravencoin community. I was a part of it, but then I just got tired of it. It's just a pain in the butt dealing with it. It wasn't making that much. Of course, if I would have known it was going to have like a giant pump in 1 week, you know what? But you're just better off market buying. Is kind of what Ben says. Even Da Vinci says this. Like all that time he was mining Bitcoin when it was like $1. He said it wasn't even worth it. He said he just, instead of buying all that equipment, he said he just wish he would have bought the Bitcoin and just sat on it.
Generally speaking, that is true. If you are mining, and you have to be a hobbyist. You have to be into mining. You have to like hardware and compute. You have to like enjoy working on the machines and all that sort of stuff to really make it make sense. And then really, if you're trying to make money, spec mining is the way you have to go. You have to mine things that don't necessarily make sense to mine at the time you're mining, but you're betting that it's going to go up in the future. And that's really where you make money mining. But to your point, if you're trying to mine Ravencoin, Ethereum, and you're trying to mine it at a loss to spec mine it, you're better off just putting that money into just buying the token.
Yep.
And it's way less work for yourself.
Yeah, spec mine like Bobby Axelrod, son off billions. All right, ETH party. Let's see the community reaction here. Multiple crypto members have applauded the developers after the merge event here. Vitalik, Yuga, Synthetics, and others celebrated the merge early this morning. Once it hit finality, Vitalik took to Twitter to acknowledge the work that went into the update. This is a big moment for the ecosystem. Everyone who helped make the merge happen should feel very proud today. Everybody, pat yourself on the back right now. Go ahead, give yourself a little pat. You made it possible. But while you're patting that, why don't you go ahead and pat that like button?
Hey,
hit that like button, and you will be directly responsible for crypto market cap to go up. Why? You're increasing attention. You're increasing the eyeballs.
That's how you become part of the crypto community right there.
Yeah, just hitting the like button. And now you're a BitSquad member. How's it feel? You feel the power coursing through your veins? Well, you should. All right, Layer 2 Network Optimism wrote that the merge marked the future of Ethereum, while Synthetics, one of the first DeFi projects to launch on ETH, said that today was a truly special day when announcing that his contracts had been unsuspended following the event here. Mao and McCormick weren't the only Bitcoiners to comment on the merge, though. Shapeshift founder and Bitcoin pioneer Eric Voorhees also paid tribute to the event, saying, "It was the most important event in crypto history, aside from the release of the Bitcoin white paper. I feel awe and gratitude towards the beautiful minds that enabled both of these events." Hoskinson also had some thoughts on the project, switching here. He points out that it changes nothing. CEO Charles Hoskinson said the merge changes nothing in terms of performance, operating costs, and liquidity. Is he input-output CEO? I want to look into that. Hoskinson's comments came in response to a Twitter user mocking him for saying ETH 2.0 will likely occur in 24. I read that whole little thread. It's another one of those things where the pedantics, technically, it doesn't happen until 24. Yeah. Everything still seems to be on track for it to happen at that time. But everyone... It's just, we kind of get confused about what the ETH merges mean. I remember when we had big updates a year ago. People were speculating, don't gas go down now, or is gas down now? And when's gas down? When is miners out of the equation? When is it fully this? When is it fully that? It's a multiple step process. It will take time. But this was a major stepstone. Yeah. And it was it's ETH's probably biggest stepstone since the fork from ETH Classic. And it went off well.
Yeah, so. And he came out and put a video out congratulating the entire Ethereum team, the Ethereum Foundation, the engineers for the technical achievement of what they pulled off, and saying proud to be part of the community as a whole, as an industry. Even your competitors can say, hats off to you for all that good work. So I do think he had some very nice things to say. I don't know. That article seems to kind of construe it negative.
Some of you might not know, some of the newer people in the space, he helped found Ethereum. Okay, he
is one of the co-founders of Ethereum, just like Vitalik. And Vitalik have had their differences on, maybe governance models and algorithms and that sort of things, but still can respect each other professionally for the most part.
Yeah. How's it hanging? Hey, it's hanging well, man. Hanging well. All right. Yuga Labs hopes to make 50. Now, this is speculative. We don't know if this hasn't been proven yet, but this is huge. Yuga Labs hopes to make 50 million with new Mecha Apes collection. Dun, dun, dun. According to leaked documents seen by Protos, this is where we're saying, just be careful here. This is according to a leaked document. Yuga Labs intends to launch a new collection by the end of the year called Mecha Apes with the intention of raising another 50 million and 100K metaverse land pieces. The company's 100K pieces, other deeds for other side NFT collection raked in a total of 600 million with each deed sold at an initial price of $6,000. Since then, the floor price has dropped to a nominal 2,700 as both the value of Ether and the Ether floor price plummeted during the current bear market. NFT trading also down. There's no information online about the Mecha Apes, but a Mecha piece has been featured as one of the artifacts in the other deeds here. We can see it here being purchased for 13 ETH. Many on Twitter have also speculated that other deeds will be used for a play-to-earn metaverse game, and the artifacts on the metaverse land will potentially be tradable in-game. They've always been very secretive about its launches. However, it outlined some of its plans and ideas in a seed funding earlier this year, which raised $450 million. They also intend to build a media empire on Web 3.0 that includes games and art based in the metaverse here. Trading volume for the other deeds is also one of the highest from all NFT collections, with almost 350,000 Ether traded so far there. So a lot of money. I do have a other deed, so full disclosure, I'm going to be biased any kind of opinion I have here. But I'm going to give you some bad news here. Yeah, there's 100,000 out. There's going to be another 100,000 land plots. We don't know when. That's going to lower the price. Why? The supply is about to double. A lot of people saying it's going to be the flipped side. So it's going to be some sort of upside down world, bizarro world version of whatever the assets that lie on there now. But when those 100,000 come out, I don't know. I think they're smart. I don't think they'll launch it during a bear market. I don't think they'll launch it knowing that it's going to lower the price. I think they would hesitate until the game's further along, price is up, next bull market, or just some major announcement like we teamed up with Epic, and Epic has 10,000 of these, 40,000. I don't know. A lot of people are saying it's going to be held for game publishers and people wanting to use, do things in the ecosystem. So we'll see. We'll see. If they go the strategy of, Disney gets 10,000, Epic gets 10,000 plot, I'm very bullish, even though maybe not everyone would be because it's not for the community. But who's going to make a better video game? Me or Epic? Okay,
Epic.
So, yeah, Epic. Who's going to bring the eyeballs? What's going to bring the attention? I just want to do something cool. And I know there's some people probably working hard, people in the basement, but I want to do something, I want to do something that might take a team of 100 employees, 1,000 employees. That's where you're going to have something awesome. Getting back into Fortnite, I want to get my hand fixed. So I've been watching Fortnite content again. It's entertaining without the builds.
Yeah.
They got no builds. All right, Yuga Labs issues grant to create a CryptoPunks newsletter. Meet Punk's Post. That's a good name. First ever CryptoPunks newsletter funded by Yuga Labs. They've announced that the first CryptoPunks NFT grant. Notably, this grant will help support the creation and maintenance of a centric newsletter, the Punk's Post. Although it's the first time CryptoPunks has awarded a grant to its community members, it's not the first grant coming from Yuga Labs there. Yuga's a well-run company. This just kind of proves it. I think that's very bullish, and it's good when you see grants actually go to the community members and they're doing something cool. Perfect example. I'll give a shout out to Blake CNFT. I think he has a Cardano grant. He's just trying to make some Cardano content for NFTs. I like community-led things like that. I don't like the big corporate stuff. Even though I want Yuga to partner with Disney, I love seeing these small people things. Why? It's a newsletter, not a $20 million movie, $10 million game to make. All right. Is it time for XRP?
Yeah.
It is time for XRP.
Throw that X up.
XRP Army, where you at? Hit the like button. All right. Anonymous third party seeks changes to Ripple's summary judgment motion to protect its employees' privacy interest here. All right. So we got an anonymous third party trying to change the employees' probably secret messages is what I'm guessing here. In a bid to protect the privacy interests of its employees, a third party has requested limited redactions to Ripple's summary judgment motion filed 2 days ago. Interesting here. According to the letter, the anonymous company had made a similar request previously to redact the name of its employees from the exhibits filed in connection with the party's Daubert motion here. And anonymous third party asserting that disclosing the names of its employees would jeopardize their privacy interests. However, the unidentified party did not seek to remain entirely anonymous here. It says only wants its identity to be redacted in instances where the identity of other similar situated third parties are being redacted. And as reported, Ripple and the SEC filed judgment motions under seal on the 13th. The parties are expected to meet and confer today to identify the necessary redactions before they're publicly filed on the 19th, just 4 days from now. That's Monday, correct? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, so big news happening on Monday. All right, let's see. What do we have? We have a Dogecoin quick hit. I know you guys love Doge. Don't talk about the meme coins enough. And let us know any questions you might want to ask. We'll try to answer a few here. Dogecoin becomes second largest proof of work crypto. Wow. Yeah. I mean, bullish, I guess, here. Yeah. So Doge is Doge is up there. So this is the proof of work coins. We have Bitcoin number 1, obviously. Number 2 was Ethereum, but now it is Doge, ETH Classic, Litecoin, Monero, Bitcoin Cash, BSV, and Zcash. So that is where people are putting their computer chips to work there.
Interesting. That's based on hash rate?
I think this is based on market cap. So this is based on market cap. You know what? How often do we hear about Ravencoin mining? I know Ravencoin miners in this office.
Yeah.
How many Zcash miners do I know? 0. How many have I talked to? 0. Bitcoin SV, Bitcoin Cash, Monero. 0.
That's because Zcash and Monero miners generally keep to themselves, you know.
That's true. Yeah. Good point there. Good point. You know what? For all I know, Mind Your Biz, he's like the biggest.
You might know
out there. All right. Do we have any questions here?
Well, yeah, one question for Q&A to start with. Do you think the ETH merge is good for Wall Street investors? Yes or no?
Yes, because it fits the ESG narrative. It fits the friendly for environment narrative. No other reason. So, yeah, and not only that, it went successful, and there's going to be people who it kind of reminds me of what Michael Saylor said about trying to get 2%, 3%, let alone 10, 20% yield on his Bitcoin. It's not worth the hassle when you're dealing with billions and you're trying to make, an extra 1%, 2%. That is not really worth it. And so when they have on that same coin, if you have a 1 or 2% chance of failure or 1 or 2% chance that what hits the fan, you don't want to be involved with that. And you're told, oh, yeah, there's a big event happening on the 15th. It's probably going to be fine. But, man, there's like a 1 or 2% chance it's going to go terrible. You'll just wait till the 16th, and then you'll jump in. And so, yeah, I think it's a good move now. I think it's a lot easier for them to pass this up to the bosses up top and say, we should allocate resources.
Yeah, I agree. What are the best buy opportunities right now? What are you both looking at, or do you have your eyes on from Kyle Hatton?
Good question. All right, so we're going to go to CoinMarketCap, and this is a perfect time to buy. Hopefully it's still down tomorrow because I get paid tomorrow. And I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger on this coin I've been talking about and I haven't bought. It's this one right here, Nearcoin. Why? It's down with the rest of the market. It's on sale. If we click on the total, let's see. Let's just go to all. It looks like it's semi-attractive. That's a semi-attractive buy. Do I wish I got in here? Of course. But don't let price memory dictate, the future here, essentially. Although it can. But yeah, that's looking juicy. That's looking juicy to me. And I'd have to do a line, but it looks like the bottom point of this might touch that, which almost touches that, which almost touches that. So it looks like a pretty strong level. What about you? Any coins?
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously still looking at Ethereum. I always like layer 1s. But we've talked about layer 2s on Ethereum here recently with the merge happening. So Arbitrum, Optimism, Immutable. ZK Sync is another. Basically, anything doing optimistic rollups or different types, ZK rollups, different types of rollups. That's where I'm watching right now, but still looking at the top coins, Bitcoin.
Riddle with Pun says he has $3 worth of Near. Thank you, Coinbase Learn. Shoot, I probably do then too.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. Hey, I'm already in the ecosystem.
Hey,
I'm gonna double my bag.
Yeah, Coinbase Earn, a good way to just get in there. A lot of people talking about HBAR in the chat. We do like HBAR. There's there's a lot of good opportunities out there right now. And one thing we're looking at is when, allocating and slowly accumulating ones that we think are going to do well next cycle. So next year is when I'm looking for, the layer 2s on Ethereum. Next cycle could be potential new layer 1s, or again, just a lot of Ethereum.
Another question, was there a fork? Yes. ETH proof of work, ETHW.
Yes.
There's now the regular ETH, and now there's some ETHW floating around.
And we have seen a lot of questions about if you need to do anything with the assets you have in your wallet or in your exchange. No, for all double check. I mean, there are some places where you do have to take some action, but I would say 95% of the places where assets are stored, no action is required. It's all done on the back end by the wallet provider and the software provider.
Yeah, and chat, let me know. It's also time to buy my 0.009 chain link. And
all right.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. All right, I think that's all we got time for. Johnny's coming down to shut down the TikTok. Bye, TikTokers. I'll do a dance, but you don't get to see it. All right, until next time, be safe out there. Proof of work. Go Ethereum. Go Ethereum. And shout out to the JPEG Junkies for this awesome merch. Looks cool. I don't know, man. That team over there, they're doing some crazy things. But until next time, BitSquad, be easy. Easy out.